Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and this is a layout that I created a couple of months ago. It was some pictures from a chili festival I went to with the family. This is actually the second page of two. It's not exactly a two-page layout, but you see this is the first page I created, which I didn't film. And that's us at the chili festival, going around the stalls and having lots of fun. But this layout is then a bit later in the day when we all met up for lunch. So I wanted to create a companion page that would go with it in my album without it actually being an exact copy or reflection of the page. So it's in a similar vein, using a lot of similar colours. I use this backing mist. That's the Heidi Swap Colour Shine in Butter. So I put quite a lot of colour on both pages. I used quite a lot of orange on the other page, which I'm going to use again in a smaller quantity on this page, but I'm putting quite a lot of this colour shine on first to give it a bit of most of it gets covered up and it just sort of glints around the photos when it's all been put on the page. But to start with, it looks a bit leery, it's a bit loud, but it's not nearly so bad when it's all been covered up. So there's bright orange. So this one is by Delusions and it's called Pure Sunshine. So I've just put a little bit of that on just to pick up the colour that's on the other page that I showed you just now. And I'm using this mask or template, whatever you call it, to do a bit of grass along the bottom, because we were mostly, you'll see on the photos, we were sitting on the grass a lot of the time, or some of us were. So I put a bit of grass along the bottom of the page just to give that idea of sitting on the grass. So I'm using a sort of turquoisey green, and then I'm just giving it a bit of a two-tone effect and using this limey green as well. So you can see it's sort of the top of the grassy bits. It looks a bit green. So I'm giving it a two-tone effect with some inks here, just along the bottom. I quite like that effect. And then these are the 4 photographs. So we're all just sitting around and having lunch. Some, like my husband and younger daughter, are sitting on the ground, on the grass. The rest of us managed to squeeze onto a table. We're eating a lot of food. There's lots of food stalls. We're all eating different things and food from around the world. And my younger daughter, you see there in the bottom right, has got this gigantic, it's like a big bun, but it's huge with a big steak in it. And it was really, really amazing. But she managed to make her way through it. And basically what I'm going to be doing is just putting layers and layers of different things behind each of the photographs, using scraps. These are the scraps I've left over. This is all from my June kit. I was still using my June kit in November because I loved it so much. I loved all the Carousel collection and all the papers. So I was just using up scraps now, layering up each of the photos, picking out bits of scraps that would go. Used a lot of circles, because I used some circles in my first layout, so I thought I'd pick that theme up, and each photo will have a circle of some sort behind it, or half a circle. I've got a scalloped punch there, which I used for most of the circles. And then I'm just picking out scraps and just keep going between the photos. I don't sort of stick with one and finish it. I keep jumping between each of the photos. And adding things to it. So the photo of my daughter at the bottom there has got a little frame around it, which I thought went really well. The colours went really well with her top. And there's some chevrons that I've cut out of chevron pieces that were on one of the papers. So I thought I'd crisscross those behind the photo. I haven't quite finished with that one yet. And I cut out a load of these kites that were on one of the Carousel papers, and I really loved the kites, but in the end they don't make it onto the layout. There just wasn't room. I just layered and layered. I went really mad. I don't do it quite that much very often when I do layers upon layers, but I just really enjoyed using all the scraps and just putting them behind all the photos. And I've used I think one of the die cuts there, it's got a glittery edge. I think it's a bingo card, but all you can see is the glittery edge around the side, and I really like that. So there's a stripy circle going behind that photo. I keep trying to fit these kites in, and I thought they were going to go on the layout, but they really just don't fit anymore in the end. And these are some of the die cuts which I used as well to lay out behind some of the pictures. So I'm just working my way around the page, picking up something, thinking where's it going to go, putting it behind one of the pictures, keep going, keep adding bits of scraps of paper where I think they all look best with all the different photos. And I really enjoyed doing this. It was a really fun thing to do. I actually find it quite easier to use pile of scrap sometimes to make a layout than when you've got the pristine kit and you have to start from with all these beautiful pages. And even that little scrap of gorgeous turquoisey flowery paper there, I love that paper. And even though it didn't make a whole circle, I didn't need a whole circle. It was enough just to tuck behind that picture, and I think it really looks good though. I like that. That colour just lifts the rest of the photograph. So you can see I've got various of these carousel die cuts laying around the page, and I just tuck them in here and there, keep going, working my way around the page, go back to each photo. I keep building it up, finding bits. I think, where's it going to go? So that pink one's gone on that photo. It's not the most flattering picture I've ever had of myself, but you have to go with what you've got. And I cut a piece out. This dark blue paper didn't stay there in the end, but you'll see that a bit further on. So I'm keep working my way around the page, keep sticking on the scraps, cutting down. No, what am I cutting down? Oh, I cut another one of those strips, those chevron-y strips from the paper. I had a bit more left, and I thought it needs one more. It needs a bit of pink to pick up the pink in the frame and in the picture. So now I've decided that's enough now. I'm going to stick that on, and they look quite good there, sort of crossed over behind the photo, just sticking out either side. I quite like that. I've still got quite a lot of the carousel bits and pieces left, but I used as much as I could. I really did cram on stickers and die cuts and as much as I could onto this page, and I love the way it ended up. It looks quite busy, but it gives the feeling of the day. It was a festival. It was hot. There was lots of people around, and it was a really fun day out. Right at the end of August, it was August bank holiday here, and although there wasn't a carousel, or it didn't really matter. I think it just gives the feel of a festival. There was lots of stalls, and here I've decided I'm going to have a flower die cut behind each of my photo clusters. So still sticking bits and pieces in, but I'm going to try and tuck one of these black and white. I love these black and white flowers. They were gorgeous, and I thought there were enough there just to tuck one behind each of the photos. Now I've got some little word stickers, and that one says "Oh Happy Day," so I've popped that on there where there was a bit of a blank space needed to cover up. I think that's the only one I used from that sheet. And I'm going to stick in my little flower die cuts. Some have been cut out of the sheet of paper that we had that had the flowers on, and others were actual die cuts in the pack. But I managed to have enough, one for each of the photos. So I've kept certain things where I've repeated, so that the circles, one behind each photo, and the flowers. So there is a little bit of cohesion here, but it was quite a free page, if you like. I just kind of went with how it felt. For each photo was treated individually, with the die cuts and papers that I had, just to build them up with what felt like would fit behind them. And I was going to stick them down, and then I thought, no, I'm going to do a few more splatters behind the photo. So I got back the Heidi Swap Butter colour, and I'm doing some more splatters. I thought there wasn't enough showing around the edge, so I've just, not sure there's an awful lot showing after I've done this, but I had a go and had a good old splatter round, and then I could put my pictures back and start sticking them down. So yeah, so I think that's the place they're going to be. So now I'm going to work on my title, and I've used the title from an Amy Tangerine thicker sheet called Grace, and they had a variety of words, and I thought, as we'd all met up to have lunch, we'd all split up and wandered around the festival in little groups. So we all met up again for lunch. So I thought "Meet Me in the Sunshine" seemed quite appropriate title to use for this layout. So that's what I've done. Picked that out, and I've just laying it across the middle of the page, and then I can stick my photos in, tuck it into the spaces in between. So it's really coming together now. And there's a bit of washi in the kit that went. I think also, I'm not sure if that was not sure what make it was. It may well have been a Simple Stories washi, because they often do washies. But I just thought I'd use a bit of that as well. the colours fitted, and it just worked in a couple of places there. So just getting these all stuck into place. This was such a fun layout to do. So colourful. It's a bit different to my usual style. I'm not usually don't go quite as mad with all the die cuts as this, but I really enjoyed myself. There's this, and I had a look through some of the stickers and the other bits that I had, and there's a trumpet which had the right colours in it, so I've tucked it in there. There was this little corner that looked a bit empty, so I had a trumpet, then a little flag in the top corner there. And there's another sticker going across here, a banner sticker that I liked. But I couldn't find anything suitable for the little picture at the bottom, so I didn't use another sticker. A couple of stars at the top there. I'm just going mad with the stickers now. Trying to get on as many as I can. Looking at all because we had so many different embellishments in this kit. Had a bit of everything, so I thought I'd try and see how much I could get onto the layout. Once you've gone so far, you might as well just keep going. And that's a puffy sticker that says Sweetest Day. And what else? And then I had a look at the little banners. They were there. I used the banners on the other page that I've made, but I couldn't get them onto this page. There just wasn't room. And these are little wooden buttons. So I'll put a few of those on. I'll put on three of the photos. Managed to fit in a little wooden sticker. So that's pretty much it. It's all done. I really enjoyed making it. I hope you enjoyed watching it. It was really fun to make, and I'm just putting it to one side so you can see. I'm going to put the other one next to it. So they're not exactly this. They're not the same, but they're very similar and they go together. They've both got 4 pictures on, and I had a similar sort of theme of putting a bit of colour behind. And I really had lots of fun with it. So thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, and do join me again soon. Goodbye.